Hey, what's up guys? Joe here with Deranged. So if you've seen a few of the most recent videos, then you know there are some wiring issues with my machine. It works fine. There's nothing not functioning properly, but if you open up the hood and look underneath, it's a friggin' rat's nest. So I'm starting today to kind of pull that together. I'm gonna start with redoing my horn switch since it has 15 different adapters and 16 different wires going to the 2 wires from the horn. So I got the right stuff to do the job the right way. I'm gonna get started with that and we'll kind of see where this project goes. So from that, let's jump into it. All right, I got the windshield off. I've got it out of the way. I've got the bolts off of the dash. So let me show you what we're working with here. Refresh your memory if you've already seen it. But that is what the inside of my dash looks like. To me, as a new owner of this machine, I don't know what goes where or where I would start with tracing problems or anything else. So I'm going to start going one by one through each accessory and getting the wiring redone for each one. That's really the only way to do it. So I guess for this video, to me this is kind of a long-term project. For this video, rather than go through the entire project, I'm going to basically rewire one accessory, kind of show you what it's like to do that, or what that process is like, and then repeat that 10 times for the rest of what I have to do. But that's kind of the plan for this one. We'll just kind of wrap up rewiring an accessory. You could also use it for kind of wiring for the first time, because I do plan on starting over at square one. So, well, that's it. Time to go. I've got all of the non-stock accessories still wired, and I pulled out all the non-stock accessories except for the ignition. So I got my horn right here, a set of lights, pod lights here on the sides, and then I've got my rock lights and interior LEDs, and this is for my light bar. So I'm not going to do all of these in this video. I'm going to start here with this one. The reason why is I don't like all of this, and I want to do it pretty, kind of how it should be. So I'm going to pull this switch and get it rewired how it should be. I'm going to have to trace these wires basically all the way down through the dash to where they're at, get them, make sure they're set up properly, and then rewire it to the machine. All right, so you saw the 6 or 8 different wires, the 2 wires that were turned into 6 wires, so that this horn could be wired up. That's one way to do it, but online you can find these from Mick Tuning's, just Chinese brand or whatever, but you could find them on Amazon, and these make it so it's much more clean, much more pretty, and you can hook it up in a way that doesn't look like a rat's nest in the back, and it's going to be more secure. All right guys, so when I pulled my switch off for my horn, I noticed it is a 6-pin switch. In the way that this guy that wired it up had it wired is he had 3 wires going to 1 wire that leads to the horn, and 3 wires going to another wire that leads to the horn. I looked up for an hour, it seemed like, trying to find another 6-pin horn switch wiring diagram so I could do it properly, and I could not find one anywhere. So rather than spend another hour looking for it or trying to hillbilly it and do it the wrong way, I just went to Amazon, bought the same switch with a 5-pin switch, so rather than 6-pin. So same color of light up, so this will light up blue like my other switches do, and it only has the 5 pins that I was expecting, because 2 of them, I'll have 2 positive wire, 2 negative wire, and then one of the wires that leads to the lighting, basically, so this switch is lighted up. So anyway, So I was thinking, rather than have a bunch of different wires going everywhere and just starting with the same old mess that I've already got going on inside the machine, I would make a quick harness. So I've got some wiring, got some heat shrink tubing, got some wire cutters, some connectors, and a heat gun, and I'm gonna make a quick harness. All right, show you what I'm looking at here. So I've got a positive and a negative, and then a same thing on each one. And basically what this is for is just running the lights for the switches, so the backlights are on them while they're on. The main power to each one of my accessories is actually wired straight to the battery. I have it on so I can flip them on whenever I want, whether the key is on or not. But this is key power, and this will make it so the backlight to my switches are on when the key is on. Moment of truth here. Key, lights, bingo. They're all working. Okay, so I just finished cleaning up the wiring and everything else. So let's take a look and see what it looks like. So as you can see, it's not quite as messy as it was before. So it's still not as good as I'd like it. I'd still like to kind of make a separate harness for each accessory, but we're not quite there yet. So I made the harness for the accessory lights, or for lighting up the switches, but I'd like to kind of make a separate one for each accessory. And I'd buy the right wiring and lay that out properly to do that. But that ended up being a project. I went into this intending just to do just to rewire the horn switch, and you know how it is, you get it opened up and then one thing leads to another and you end up reorganizing stuff and whatnot. But I ended up finding, when I was going through and doing the switch, about 10 extra feet of wiring. So it wasn't that the guy before me did a bad job of wiring the machine. All he did is when he cut a 3-foot length, and he only needed 2 instead of trimming it, he just left it in there or looped it up or whatever else. Also, I mean, with the winch, when he put the winch in, he had 6 extra feet of cable rather than trimming the cable. So other than that, it was okay. It wasn't a bad wiring job. So with that said, what do you think I should do? Should I go ahead and do a separate ground for everything? Because look at this. There are 2 locations with 5 different ground wires on it. So, and half of them probably lead up into here, and then the other half lead throughout the machine. So should I leave it how it is and stick with the ground wires how they are? Or should I go ahead and redo all the ground wires and just do one main ground and a harness to it? I don't know. It's working like it is. It's just ugly, and I have a hard time with ugly. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. If you have some comments on what you saw, then leave them in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. It really helps support the channel. You can also support us by checking out our website, which will be linked below, and you can check out our merchandise there and other articles that we have there. Appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next time.